Forget you, nor your surprise. You introduced me to my mind and left me wanting you and your kind. Oh, baby. Probably shouldn't have done that without warming up the old docs. You know what I'm saying? But my name's Luke, man. Welcome to the Hand Synchronization Station. That's right. That is this chair right here. This is where we're taking your fingers that just can't seem to work together with your right hand and making that magical, harmonious, wonderfulisms happen. Okay? I should mention that I have a free course on that, actually. It's called Alternate Picking Mastery, and there's a link for it in the description below. And by the way, there's a lot of yahoos out there coming back to my videos saying, hey man, I tried 3 different email addresses and still no video. Well, dum-dum, there's a freaking link to the video as soon as you hit the thank you page. Okay, so literally the next page after you hit enter, you will see a link. Just click that link. It's gonna be okay, I promise. You know, but anyway, yeah, kudos to those who have figured it out, you know, and kudos even to these people, right? Because everyone just wants to get better at their guitar playing. That's really cool. And also I do have more one-on-one style coaching as well, so that one's not so much for everybody. So if you're interested in that, you can fill out the application, and it may or may not be a good fit. So anyway, let's crack right into the lesson. I'm not trying to waste anyone's time, especially not my own. All right, today we're gonna talk about syncing up both of our hands. I'm tuned down a half step, and we're gonna use the A minor C major scale because it's nice and easy, you know. And we should talk about 16th notes. Okay, so a good way to count 16th notes is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and So something that's maybe not so obvious that you should know and understand is you should be able to play 16th notes even with 3 notes per string, which is kind of counterintuitive for a lot of people because they want to play triplets because it's 3 notes on each string. So, you know, I just apply that rhythm to each set of notes on each string and then we're good. Well, you're good for triplets, you know, or even sextuplets, which is basically twice as fast with the same general rhythm, you know. Triplet. Okay, but I want to play 16th notes on 3 notes per string. So a good little trick I have for this, especially when we're practicing and we're breaking down a subdivision to maybe like 1 beat at a time, is I like to play the rhythm into it. So if I have a click going, I'll be like click, 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 click. You know, and this kind of like helps trick your brain into playing the same subdivision throughout, as opposed to getting hung up on what you think you're supposed to do because based off of the number of notes, you know, on each string. So I really recommend starting to practice being able to play 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. I really like this trick. See how you kind of like, maybe even you're watching this and you kind of like clicked into that rhythm. And then I recommend using more so your mind when you play the guitar, especially if you're trying to understand a new subdivision or get comfortable with subdivisions, because it's a tough thing to do. And the more you think about what you're playing with your hands, the less well you're going to do with your rhythm, the less solid you're going to be on your timing. So if you can try to actually just let your hands do their thing, not so much think about it, and really just focus on that 1E end to 2E end, that rhythm and the click. You know, if you could really kind of hone into that click, 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 click. Okay, that's where we want to get. So anyway, a nice little example I like to use for 16th notes, and this is cool because we can start to move it around the fretboard too once you get it and you understand, you know, all these shapes, which you should. I mean, it's super basic. I learned them all when I was 14. Of course, I use that as an argument like I was only 14, but let me tell you, getting older, things were easier to learn when I was 14. Okay, so if you're a 14-year-old, this is just right for you. Okay, I remember the lick that I was talking about. So we're going to descend. We're going to play 8, 7, 5 on the E string and then go to the B string and play just the 8th fret. Now let's cruise back to the E string, play 7 to 5, and then we'll cruise back to the B string and we'll play 8 to 6. And then we're going to finish it off with 5th fret of the E string, play 8, 6, 5 on the B string, and then finish off with 6, 8. So we're going down the B string and then back up. And then going back to the E string to play the 5th to the 7th fret. So all together slow. Anyway, all right, so that's the lick, and what I was doing was applying it to some of the other shapes as well. But this is a 16th note lick, and it's useful, and you can easily start out with this and feel solid with it over some time. You just want to set your click pretty low to start. Make sure you're playing the rhythm right, and then we want to boost that click quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And when you get hung up, oh, I messed that part up, you know, then what we want to do is play less of it. So that's 3 beats worth well, it's technically 2 beats worth of 16th notes, but I encourage the last beat because that's what's going to keep our mind sucked into the proper subdivision of 16th notes. You know, if we just play without landing, then we don't have a reference. You know, almost like a running back, it's almost like we're running long for this Hail Mary catch, you know, and we're not looking back to see like where the ball is. You know, we have no idea. Should we run faster? Should we run slower? We're just like, oh, it'll be fine, you know. It's not going to be fine. It's not going to be fine. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to play one extra beat, one extra note that lines up with that beat, so we can kind of sight that downbeat down the line and see, okay, that's where I need to play. You know, that's what's going to keep us in time. So that's like 4 or 5 beats worth of 16th notes. You know, you don't have to play that whole thing. As it gets faster, I encourage you to not do that because you'll get hung up. You'll start playing the wrong thing. You'll get fatigued, And you'll be like, I can't play fast, but that's not the truth. The truth is you can't listen to what I am saying. That's what your problem, okay? So instead you have to look at just 1 to 2 beats with that extra downbeat, right? Because the freaking wide receiver analogy or whatever. So let's go here. Let's just do that much, you know? That's all you need. 2, 3, 4. Click, 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 click.